Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Saturday to join me. I really appreciate that. I know that I do think it's raining outside, and that would be good because Albuquerque definitely needs the rain. Everywhere needs the rain. Rain is beautiful. You know what I mean? Especially here in the desert, right? Because I'm from the desert, if you didn't already know. Little place called Albuquerque, New Mexico, multi-generational, and thanks to just all the new subs and the new viewers, I really appreciate it. You know, the ultimate goal here is to get hundreds of thousands of people chilling. There will be a montage video clip made of that one day of how many times I've said that. You know what I mean? But truly, it's been a pretty decent day, and today I want to talk about storage units. Link in the description below to a cool documentary on storage units and some other third-party additional resource information that you can read through to develop your own opinion on Americans and storage units. You know what I mean? We live in a country, if you're watching this in America, where there are, a bunch of storage units around us. And there's homeless people too, which kind of like doesn't make any sense, right? Because it means that so many people have so much stuff they need extra space, and so many people have absolutely nothing that they can't even get any space. And so I think the dichotomy there is weird. I think it's interesting, right? Because a lot of American households, typically speaking, that are now being built single family homes are on average 800 square feet larger than they were just even 20 years ago. And so, and this is while family household size has decreased, but households have in physical real world have gotten bigger. I think that, and then, furthermore, again, sometimes people have so much stuff that they have to rent storage units, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about storage units because they're an added expense and often a burdening expense to those people who are actually utilizing the storage space for reasons that might not just be to put stuff in that they're never going to use again. And that kind of makes a weird argument too, right? Because like economically, how is it possible and how does it at all make any sense to store things that you're never going to use? You know what I mean? But you're going to have to pay to have stored. I myself and have been a person who has unfortunately had many storage units in my life. As a result of this experience, it's almost like victimization in that storage units are good in idea, in ideology, right? Especially if you're poor. It gives you a place to store your items. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than rent. All of these things. The problem with working class people and poor people, financially speaking, as I was in that situation just even a year ago when it came to losing my storage units, right? And so it's sort of like if you're not using that storage space to run a business or to store things that you're going to go in and out from like on the regular, then it's really not worth storing your stuff. And that's kind of the argument that I want to make in the video is that, sometimes storing your stuff isn't worth it. Sometimes it's better just to give it away or to sell it at a really low cost or whatever. I just last year again, and if you're new to the channel, you don't maybe know me all that well or whatever, there's close to 400 videos. We stream 4 times a day. I encourage you to subscribe, tell somebody about the channel. But nonetheless, last year I had lost 4 storage units myself, 2 in Maricopa County and 2 here in Bernalillo County in Albuquerque. And that was the result of me making terrible decisions in my own personal life. But before that, they were being paid by income that was coming in from and one of the businesses that I had, right? The eBay store, Cups of Enchantment. Something was paying the storage bill. So as long as it made us enough money to pay the storage on any of those units, it made sense. And then the moment that I didn't have it was around $400 to $500 a month. I'm imagining between the 4 different units, it could have been a little bit more than that. But eventually, my terrible decision making and lack of financial planning led me to lose those storage units. And now it's impacted my business in a way that is going to take years to rebound from. It took years to accumulate all that stuff that I lost in the storage units, and it's going to take years again to accumulate all of the items that will inevitably have to be accumulated once more to do it all over again. This is like the third time in my life where I've literally had at least six figures in merchandise to sell and I've lost it all. Again, sort of like the epitome of loss in terms of financially. I've lost a lot of money. Both money from, private loans as well as own private money. It's been tough. It's tough being an entrepreneur, especially one that wants to do, nothing in terms of my like personal life. I love running businesses. I love working, actually. That's something else that maybe you don't know about me if you haven't seen the channel and all of its many videos over the course of a period of time. It's just, I don't feel like people get paid what they need to get paid, and work should be symbolic of a person being given the resources they need to live their best life, and currently that's not what happens, and I feel like hard work is rewarded by cheaper pay and more responsibility. So yeah, I'm not out there in the working world as it would be because of those reasons, you feel me? And so I've had to make a go for it myself, and I've yet to find something that works other than VlogsBoutNothin, which again streams 4 times a day. But we do these sidebars a lot on the channel, you know what I mean? It's kind of also what we do here. But nonetheless, I think storage units in themselves are a good idea for a short term. But if you start paying, for anything past 3 months, then you should probably really reconsider what you're paying for, because otherwise you're going to lose it, or otherwise you're just going to pay to have, somebody else store your stuff for a period of time and you get no value out of it whatsoever. In fact, you're paying for it. Now, it's one thing if you can afford it and if it's worth it to you, you know what I mean? But it's another thing, and I've seen people that like homeless people that have to live inside storage units, like I've seen this in big cities. Like this happens. This happened right down the street when I rented a couple of storage units from a place here in town. You know what I mean? It's like storage units are also very expensive now. And again, it's real hard to catch up on, when you get behind on this, and that includes like the interest and the fees and stuff too. So, let's all carefully examine our relationship with storage units. You know what I mean? Like, we want things to work for us in life, right? And we don't want to have to pay to have things not work for us in a financial sense. And I just feel like if you're not getting any kind of meaning or benefit from that storage unit, you should probably like kick it. I know that if I could have done things differently, I would rather be sleeping on a little part of my floor with all the stuff, the inventory that I had accumulated in the years leading up to those storage units. Like I just fit it all in my room. At this point, comfort is a privilege, like in terms of like a luxury, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's still trying to rebuild, the empire from nothing, and that's kind of always the case. But nonetheless, it's his life, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. And I just think that, personally, again, storage units can be a real bad idea for you or for anybody. They also can be a really good idea. It goes both ways. Again, I'm obviously a little biased because of my experience with storage units. However, I have also been a victim of losing sentimental things, irreplaceable items, as a result of my parents' irresponsible financial behavior when it comes to deciding to store all of mine and my siblings and everyone's stuff in a storage unit when we're adults, only for them to not be able to pay it and lose it. You know what I mean? Like, again, all while, you desperately pleaded with your parents to let them have your stuff as an adult because you didn't want it in their possession. Yeah, I know. It's just another one of those stories. But hey, I appreciate you watching the channel. We talk about nothing here on the regular 4 times a day. Tell somebody about the channel. I see the notifications all the time. I appreciate all of the subscribers, all of the new viewers. I'm vibing with y'all too, you know, and I'm happy to say that there's a plethora of videos, an entire catalog from which y'all can choose from at this point. This is again a life mission of mine, and I will never stop until we have those kinds of numbers here on Vlogs About Nothing. So with that, I want to help you. I want to wish you guys a good evening and be safe out there. Have a good night, and we'll talk to everyone soon. All right, bye.